What up, nerds? Welcome back to the Nerd Dimension, episode 4 of Loki, the Nexus event. Here with me, Mikey. We're talking about it today. We're going to break it down, spoiler discussion, and give our ratings at the end. Stay tuned. Mikey, what is happening?
Not bad, man. Weird that just being the two of us. How are you doing?
Aye, David's missing today, but I'm doing good. I'm a bit exhausted. I went a long cycle today. I went to the gym. I've been doing a lot, working a lot, studying in this. What has just popped up in my screen and started making noises? I have no idea. But anyway, let's get right into this episode. What was your first thoughts?
Oh, best episode yet. But, there was a lot that happened. A lot of Easter eggs. So there is a whole ton of Easter eggs, and I just can't wait to talk about them. What about you?
100%. I don't even know where to start with this episode. See when Loki got zapped, I'm moving on to the end right away, but see when Loki got zapped, I was like, fuck off. When Mobius got zapped, I'm like, fuck off. There's no chance. I actually couldn't believe it.
It really went there with this episode. But, you know, we're going to start from the beginning. Obviously, you've just jumped ahead to get that point across, you know. But, for the beginning, the way it opened up with young Sylvie playing on the front of our house. Mm-hmm. And did you notice she was playing with toys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She was playing with an Asgardian ship. She was playing with a dragon, which was the dragon from Ragnarok for Surtur's dragon. And then she had a toy wolf, Fenris. Mm-hmm. So was she acting out that event? You know. And then obviously we get the TVA coming through and taking it away. So
which I thought was pretty.
I
thought that was pretty mental. I knew we were going to see flashbacks of her as a kid. I didn't realise the TVA took her as a kid. Like, traumatic. And she was witty enough and clever enough and mischievous enough to escape from Ravonna when she was a hunter before she was obviously elevated to the position she's at now. But I thought it was an incredible episode. Pacing, directing. One of my favourite things about this show is the sound design. See the music and how they use it. It's the same theme, but they use different instruments at different speeds, and it just goes with the editing and the storytelling, and you can really feel what the characters' emotions are based on the music. Do you know what I mean? I absolutely loved it. Yeah. I thought it was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
I just love the intro. The intro music is enough for me, man. I love it.
Aye. And that's that theme. I see that theme.
Yeah.
They keep using it throughout, but they change the instruments and the speed and the tempo, and it's like, it's the same theme, but and played in different ways to portray different emotions. When it's action, it's really robust and strong and powerful, and then when it's like an emotional scene, like when Loki thinks she's dead and that, it's like slowed down, but it's the same theme. I absolutely love how they use it in this show. And just everything about it. See the style, the colours, the place, the sets, everything. It's just on another level, this series, honestly.
Yeah, everything is stunning. That's the word I'd use for it. Everything is absolutely stunning. For, you know, your graphic design, your sound design, your production design. Oh, everything is just bang on. And it's just miles ahead of anything else. You know what I mean? It's leaps and bounds for the last two series we've watched.
See Hunter B15. What an actress! Like she blew me away this episode. Her performance, honestly, like her whole psyching herself up before going in and speaking to Loki. She's like, "That's a lie. It's deception," and I get chills. I thought it was so good, man. So good.
See when she's walking to the door to go in and see Sylvie, and she pulls out her prune stick, whatever it's called, and she's acting as if she's going to go in and be all tough, but she goes in, prune stick away, and come with me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like she's excellent. So she is Hunter B15. But before we go, see when Sylvie was taken, like young Sylvie was taken to the TVA.
Mm-hmm.
Remember it cut to a guy being dragged in by the TVA.
And she says, "Help him."
Did you notice who that was?
It looked kind of like Whiplash. And then I don't know. It did look familiar to me. It wasn't Mickey Rourke,
Right.
obviously.
No, it was the. Remember during the Nexus event, the big one, and episode was it episode 4? Episode what were we in now for? Episode 2, the big Nexus event where she sets off all the timers and all the bars go everywhere, and it cuts to the two guys in the TVA, and one's got a really fine mustache, and he just sits there shocked while the other one sits reading a book. So he does, and he makes the calls to explain that everything's going on. It was him. It was the guy with the mustache.
And that's him getting dragged in before he was hired. So, like, it's just showing what Loki, female Loki, Sylvie was saying is true, which it obviously is, you know what I mean? We saw C20's video of her, like, dispose of her, do you know what I mean? And she's going crazy saying it was a memory.
These people have no idea until Sylvie's enchantment lets them, because Sylvie says herself she can't create memories. She can only show them their memories. So it's Sylvie's enchantment helps them realise and gives them that bit of memory to think, wait, what did they do in a past life? And I think it was B15 who summed up the best, where she'd said, or was it B15? Or was it? Oh no, it was the video of the one that got killed in the first or second.
C20.
It was the video of her, and she goes, "I've been to that club." You know what I mean? I've been to that bar. So
I had friends. It was a memory. I was from there. It all makes sense. And then the big reveal: the timekeepers. I said it. They're not real. And what it was revealed, they're fucking robots, androids, mindless. Their design was pretty funky. I thought it was cool. Not what I was expecting from the statues. They look nothing like the statues, if you ask me personally. But this weird, skinny, it was so bizarre. They were like different. All three of them were like a different culture each. Do you know what I mean? It was pretty mental.
Yeah, no, it was. I thought they were quite cool. But see, the main one, the one that Sylvie threw the blade and cut his head off. That's Kang the Conqueror. That's a design of him, surely. I just look at him and that's what I see.
Kang doesn't have this little skinny head and long body. Do you know what I mean? He's like big square head, purple helmet. I mean, he's got muscles. Like that wasn't him. However,
no, I just think it's a take of him. It's just the same. He's got the same kind of thing. I was looking at a picture of Kang the Conqueror when I was watching. I was like, he
did have a helmet, but I don't know. I think the reveal, if we get Kang, I thought Kang was going to be like a Fantastic Four villain or the Multiverse of Madness villain, but if we get him in this, that'd be still pretty sick. Maybe be like a post-credit end scene, like at the end of Avengers 1, where we see Thanos, except it's like the same kind of similar shot, but it's Kang. That'd be pretty cool. But
fine, I'll do it myself.
Why did Sylvie not kill Ravonna? Oh, because she wanted answers. I just realised there, because she still wanted answers, like, about her Nexus event, why they took her as a child. That's why she left her alive, but then that led to Loki getting pruned. But, you know what I mean? Lokis are selfish, but they do care about each other. Like, it's a pretty quick growing romance. I mean, how many hours has it been since they left the TVA, went to Lamentus, and things unfolded? Do you know what I mean?
I think me, you and David were all kind of, when we were predicting how they were going to get off Lamentus, I think we all, in a way, got it right. We did say in the final wee second, you know, either the TV will come bursting through and drag them through the portal, or they'll open some portal and drag them through. I think we called it quite well. We thought that Loki had a tempad all that time. That's what we were doing, that he was using his magic, but...
in all this, I had thoughts that she enchanted him. That was all nonsense. But see what I realised when I watched the episode just before this podcast for the second time. That bit when they're saved and the portal opens and they walk through, the TVA's got them. That was in the trailer. One of the trailers I reacted to. I've seen that shot so many times, but obviously Sylvie's not there in it. It's just Loki on his own. And I'm like, I've seen it. Do you know what I mean? I've seen that shot. That was in one of the trailers. And it was like, well, damn, if I went back and watched the trailers after last week's episode, I would have realised that. Do you know what I mean? But I just thought...
no one would have thought that.
I literally seen that shot, and it's like, but he's just himself. when he turns and looks at that doorway opening. It's definitely in there. Because see what I made the trailer reactions, and that same scene was in a couple of them, and I did quite a few Loki trailer reactions, and I was always editing and cutting it. So as I had that shot in my head, I'm like, wait a minute, if she's obviously CGI'd out of it, do you know what I mean, in the trailer? But I thought it was pretty fucking sweet. What did you think of the return of Lady Sif?
Oh, that was excellent. That whole time loop, that whole time loop scene was fantastic.
Did you notice the portal was like more red than orange?
Yeah, it was pure red. It was, and it goes, is this hell? And I'm thinking, hell is going to come through. Mm-hmm. Didn't expect it to be Lady Sif, but
a bad memory loop is like, oh, I remember exactly what I did after this. I had a hot bath, had a glass of wine, never thought about it again. It was too good, man. Too good. One of my favourite parts of this episode as well was Owen Wilson's acting. Holy shit.
Oh, it was incredible.
See when he manipulates and reverse psychologies Loki? Wow. And then just before he gets pruned, wow. Like, wow.
I was watching that scene, and just before he gets pruned, and the bit where he's banging on, like, maybe I had a jet ski. Maybe you're going to prune me, and I'm going to go back to being on a jet ski. I was like, Paul is going to fucking love this.
He's like, you know where I would like to go? Anywhere on the timeline, but back to my real life. Maybe I had a jet ski. Maybe I'd just be riding around on my jet ski. And I was like, yes. But see when he was pruned, I'm like, what? Like, it's just, how? But now that we've seen the post-credit scene, like, Wilson's coming back.
I think we know that anyone who gets pruned isn't dead. I think that's clear. Maybe they'll put in an alternative universe. You know what I mean? Quite similar to the TVA. Obviously, we'll get into the post-credit scene at the end of it, and we thought of that. But, Owen Wilson was fantastic. Tom Hiddleston can hit the nail once again.
Definitely. See some of the editing as well. Like, see the whole scene when they are captured and they're coming back. It's like the way where they're both pulling, and just the slow motion and the music. You can't hear what's going on. You can only hear the music. I thought it was so powerful. I love that editing, the storytelling, and the beats. And he's like, what was it? Loki says he's like, why is her security detail bigger than mine? I'm insulted. And just and the whole conversation where he's like, it was your grand plan. How long have you been working with the variant? He's like, working with her, don't be absurd. It's a mean 10 ends and all that. It's just absolutely fantastic. Then even though Loki's already like, he's already fucked, do you know what I mean? And he's caught out.
Yeah.
And he's like, he still tries to spin that web. Okay, she came to me a while back. It was a grand plan, but they still try to spin it. And I'm just like, absolutely fantastic, man. Absolutely fantastic. Man, see, talking about the post-credit scene, did you see the Thor Loki? Like, with that?
Yeah. That
Loki Mjolnir? I'm so buzzing.
Yeah. But the thing is, there was so many variants. So there was so many different... that's just showing you the amount of variants of Loki that there actually is. So
there'll be a lot more. There'll be a lot more. There'll be so many.
So we've got I'd say a very retro Loki. And then we've got a Thor type Loki, which is interesting because we were talking about Tom Hiddleston auditioning originally for Thor. So it's interesting to see that.
And then there's like a reptile, like a mad Komodo dragon, lizard Loki.
Yeah, that one I can't work out. But did you notice that in the it's like a post-apocalyptic New York, because you could see destroyed Avengers Tower at the back.
Aye.
So is this maybe set? Are we going to see? Is this after the Chitauri and obviously Loki attacks New York? Is this maybe what would have happened? We're going to see next.
See what I thought was you know how when they reset somewhere and they vaporize it, I feel like this place is just an amalgamation, a combination of all those reset timelines when they evaporate and they end up there and they're all overlapping and the place is destroyed. it's all the timelines that they destroyed as well. Because that's what happens to the variants when they get pruned. They get sent there.
Yeah.
So what happens when they reset that timeline or whatever, and the whole place goes? Do you know what I mean? And what about a couple episodes before when Sylvie set off multiple ones, which caused all those branches or whatever? But how many things were appearing there at once? Do you know what I mean?
I think it's clear now that the TVA is definitely the quantum realm, because the visuals of them resetting the time, it's all the exact same colours. You know what I mean? Like, the portal's the same colour as the time machine portal that they use in Ant-Man and the Wasp and Ant-Man and in Avengers Endgame. It's the same colour. When time's resetting and the floor's getting like, you know, all the colours are going all over the floor and resetting the whole place, the whole scene. It's the exact same colour as when they're in the quantum realm. So I think it's pretty clear we're in the quantum realm. And every time they leave, it's because they're going into a different, you know, alternative universe, and you know, and this is how it's all going to tie into the multiverse of madness, you know.
Mm-hmm. See, I'm not sure. Like, I've seen different videos debating if it is or isn't. Do you know what I mean? And there's good points. There's good points on both sides. So I'm not sure, man. It does look and seem to me like it is, and they put it in way back then. What for? It was just a slight visual in the background. So I think it possibly is. Do you know what I mean? I've seen debates though saying it isn't, because there's like a certain species that live in there instead of that. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know.
But then it was put in Ant-Man and the Wasp, because that sets up for Quantumania, because Ant-Man and the Wasp, how we done him, they go in. I think that movie's purely set in the quantum realm. So I do. Whenever that's coming out in 2022, 2023. But you know, in my opinion, you know, you're watching your own videos and you're seeing, you know, the different arguments. I'm also doing it. I bet David's doing it, and we're all seeing all these different points, and we're not one of us are going to have the same point for this. So it's kind of interesting.
100%.
You're dwelling on no, I'm dwelling on yes. David's probably dwelling about Shannon Carter.
No, I'm not sure. Like, I think it possibly is the quantum realm. I really do.
Oh,
do you know what I mean? Like, but
what was your thoughts on carry on, sorry.
But I'm just gonna say, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Do you know what I mean? What were we gonna say? Thoughts on what?
I was gonna say your thoughts on they're in the Timekeepers layer, and you know, it's about to kick off, and B-15, the door's open, comes out, turns on a prune stick. I was like, that's fucking amazing, man.
For all time, always, it was like her performance this episode was incredible. Did she die pretty much instantly? She looked like she got clotheslined. She got like clotheslined or something. It was only two of them. It was only two. And then they like hit her once.
I thought it was one.
It only hit her once and she went down, do you know what I mean? And then it was two against Loki, two against Sylvie. No, sorry, it was two against Loki and two against B-15, and Sylvie just fought Ravonna. It was only three of them in total in that place.
Did you not see the inconsistencies of that fight scene? As good as it was, there were so many fucking inconsistencies, and it annoyed me. Right, so there's a scene where Loki is just fighting on the stairs in the background, and there's a guy behind him that could have pruned him then, but uses the other end of his stick to just like jab his back.
Tap him.
There's so many. I'm just thinking, right, why, if they know that the dangerous side is the prune side, why is everyone fighting with the opposite end?
Because like Sylvie was like impaling people just brutally with it.
Yeah, but see when B-15 threw her the blade as well. I thought that was excellent.
Was Loki's like a little help, then she gives him that, and then she starts kicking ass handheld better. Like, now we realise though as well, see last week's episode when there was who taught you magic, Frigga, she's like, she never had a Frigga. Everybody was saying, well, she, like, all the videos I watched, Emergency Awesome especially, he was saying he's like, well, she grew up on a timeline where Frigga died when she was young, so she basically grew up with the worst version of Odin. Because, like, just imagine, like, the old alcoholic dad, like, depressed. That's what he was putting out there, but no, it's not all. The reason she never learned magic for Frigga is because she was snatched out from her reality at such a young age. What age do you reckon she was there? Like 9?
No, I'd say 11. Maybe a bit older. I don't think she was as young as.
Yeah, my son's 13 and she didn't look anywhere near as old as him. Do you know what I mean? I was thinking 9.
Deceiving.
I was thinking like 9.
Well, we're going to find out next episode probably. So you're saying 9. I'm going to say 11. Let's see what they're going to do with it. Do you think we'll see it again? I think definitely. I think we've still to see a backstory.
I think
more.
I think it's going to lead up to find out who created the TVA and what was her Nexus event and why she was taken out of her reality initially. And it's probably going to be, I don't know, is it because she's female? But then all these other variant Lokis, like the Thor Loki look, like, they're all different, do you know what I mean? They're all very different. There's a reptile, there's an old man comic book style one, do you know what I mean?
They're all very, they all look
unique.
like they're from different universes.
They're all unique in their own way.
Yeah,
and it's like that old guy's like pure old school comic book style Loki outfit, do you know what I mean? That pure bad Halloween costume.
Get it like the Magneto for X-Men, that old guy.
Ian McKellen.
What?
Ian McKellen vibes.
Yeah. But nah. I don't even know where this is going to go, man.
I really don't. I knew there was going to be, I was saying it in the earlier podcast, some sort of spectacular, like, variant Loki episode focused solely on different variant Lokis and him interacting with them. And this post-credit scene, it's next week. It's the episode before the finale. We're going to get that crazy episode. I wasn't sure we were going to get it. I was starting to think we weren't going to get to see any actual variant Lokis live other than that little hologram, but it's looking it's going to happen now. I'm curious to see where they've ended up now, because every location that we've seen in this show so far, the only recurring location has been Asgard that we've seen before. Everywhere else has been a new kind of place that just looks absolutely stunning and fantastic. Like, honestly, the show just keeps getting better and better. Honestly, I'm absolutely buzzing with it.
When we're doing our ratings, I don't think it's going to really be hard to do the ratings, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's man, my head's a blank canvas when it's going into this next episode. If it turns out you were right, and you know we are going to see all these different variants of Loki interacting, then you know, yes,
aye,
absolutely.
That's what we're getting 100%. Like wherever he's showed up, wherever when you're prune, people end up, because it's like, I don't know. Do you think are we going to see that guy that never took the ticket originally in the line? He might be the biggest apocalyptic badass from this side of the MCU. Do you know what I mean? Actually, yeah. I'm actually so excited. There was what other scenes was there we've not skimmed over? There was we spoke it. Oh, Mobius inside her office, and he snatches her tempad. There's something about her. She's so untrustworthy and completely bullshitting, and I think he's got like a wee sweet thing for her, a wee crush on her. So he's not seen. Aye, so she's kind of bullshitting and manipulating, but because Loki's saying the TV are lying to you and that, whatever, it did kind of resonate with him for some reason. It's like, why does he love jet skis? But he questioned her, and they were just, usually he would probably be the first guy in there interviewing her. So that was too dangerous. Just interview your own Loki. But he's in his bad prison memory, like, punishment, and now stewing, like he said. It's like, there would be no reason for her to talk to him. Then he's questioning about C20 as well. That's right. And she admits that she's dead. And then he steals her time pad. And like, honestly, like, I don't know who our other analysts are. I was thinking maybe there would be multiple variants of Mobius. I'm not thinking that now, but we actually haven't seen a single other analyst other than Mobius. We've seen Hunters. We've seen him as the analyst, whatever. We've seen the judges. We've seen other workers. We've not seen more than one analyst, do you know what I mean? And will we?
Which, makes you think we're definitely seeing Mobius again. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But are we going to meet Mobius with all the other Loki variants? Or do you think we're just going to meet Loki and Mobius? I think he's going to come across all of them.
Imagine like there's just like Mobius and multiple Mobius. Or does Mobius become like some sort of leader in this place and ends up becoming later on like the kind of villain Mobius? Do you know what I mean?
The revolution has begun.
Shout out, Cork. Honestly,
on you go.
I was gonna say, I honestly think that we're just gonna see so many different places in this apocalypse that they're at, and so many different variants. Like, there's gonna be so many different versions of like the same characters. Imagine we see there's a spectacular cameo for it being the second last step of such a high budget big series. We're gonna get a big cameo for maybe an Avenger, maybe Odin, maybe some other massive character that obviously isn't in the show, but it's been previous in the MCU. A variant of Hulk, and he's gonna smash Loki like in Avengers 1. There's gonna be a variant of Hulk. It's gonna be World Breaker Hulk. You heard it here first in the Nerd Dimension. I'll always break the script right here, right on the spot. It's gonna happen. Wait and see next step. Loki's gonna get smashed side to side by a variant Hulk. World Breaker Hulk, I'm thinking. And then Wolverine's gonna break out the middle of him. It's gonna be Old Man Logan. I get too excited. But honestly, what an episode. What an episode. Do you want to get to the ratings? I think we've covered. I'm trying to think. Is there a bit?
We've missed the most important scene in the entire episode, I think.
Go for it.
The love connection. When Loki's about to talk about, he's about to tell her how he feels, and he said to himself, he always thought he was going to be alone, and now he's met the right person.
Himself.
And then you're like, oh, just kiss her.
Oh no, I'm so glad he didn't kiss her. I was like, no, this is fucking cheesy. But it was like, he's like, this is new to me. I think he was gonna kiss her, obviously put his hands on her shoulders, like, but he's trying to say it, and he didn't know how to say it, so he was just gonna, a little less conversation, a little more action, Loki. He was gonna do that. So, but see just the look on his face. It was like his pruning was so it felt so much slower than everybody else's, and the look on his face, and then his head's just from the outside closing in small here. It was absolutely mental. But I was saying Owen Wilson's performance. See when he's doing that reverse psychology with Loki in the interrogation room. He's like, oh Rao, he's like, what caused the Nexus event? Well, we were just over there, just apocalypse, just swooning over each other. He's like, you, only a major narcissist like you would fall for yourself and that. And he's like, I don't care about her. And then the way he says, he's like, well, you don't need to worry about it because she's already been pruned. Not before she took out two of ours. Yeah, she broke her time cell, and then B-15 stepped in, pruned her. Just wow. That reverse psychology, using Loki's like own wee tricks against him, do you know what I mean? And then obviously like you see like look at Loki's eyes and he's mentioning it, you can really feel Tom Hiddleston's like angst and anxiety, and like just he's fell in love with himself. David was right. Fuck you, David. God damn it, where are you?
Shout out, David.
Shout out, David. You're a mess.
No, but do you think Mobius knew that B-15 had basically took Sylvie to, back to that mall or whatever
that's what I was going to bring that up, and I totally forgot, right? So see when Ravonna walks into the room, and then she turns, she's like, who's been in here with her? I couldn't figure it out the first time I watched it. I was like, why did she just think that? It's because she's soaking wet. Yeah. She's sitting there soaking wet, and it's like that. And then she's like, putting APB basically on B15 as she's been compromised by the variant. Just honestly, her B15's performance in this episode just really. I even looked like Owen Wilson, like see his characters, like Mobius is reacting to her when she's like, "We gotta find them." Like he's like, "We will," and she's like anxious and like it's just like just blown away. She's like, "Show me," do you know what I mean? So lies, deception, all of that. Wow, man, her performance blew me away. Absolutely.
It's funny,
I didn't care for her character before this at all. I didn't care for her.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, but it's funny because in episode 1 and 2, you're like, oh, she's such a dick, man. You're like, you think to yourself, she's going to be the pure jobs worth, isn't she? Well, everyone else is finding out the truth about the TVA. She's going to be like, no, it's not true. But
I was invented by the timekeepers.
Yeah. Well, in actual fact, she's the first person other than Mobius and E20 or C20 to find her memories, know that Sylvie's telling the truth, and to go, on the timekeepers.
See, she was like, she's like, I looked happy. It's like, that bad bitch and her bad attitude is because she's so unhappy. That tedious job, that look, TVA, that is hell. The bad guy's Mephisto, the main villain. He made the TVA. That's really hell. That's what I'm thinking.
But that I think that one bit pretty much sums it up. You know what I mean? So she says she was so happy, right?
Oh, she said she looked happy.
She looks happy, but the TVA is had her been like nothing but misery. You know what I mean? So it's the two contrasts of where she's seen what her actual life is like compared to what her current life is like. So I don't know. I think they kind of bounce off each other in a way.
See when she's in the hallway and before she goes into Sylvie's and she looks at that poster and it's like, if you make sure it's a thorough deletion or something, and the guy's face, very reminiscent of like kind of Fallout 60s America, like kind of posters and stuff. Do you know what I mean? I really like the style. Like there's something about the TVA. It's got this unique charm about it. Do you know what I mean? But her whole performance there, looking at that poster, and you just, without any words, you can read and tell so much story just on her performance without her saying any dialogue before she walks in. That's a good solid, like it's that moment's dragged out and it's really left so that the audience can feel it. Do you know what I mean? You really feel and see, like, do you know what I mean, what she's going through. It really takes you on her journey with her. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, what a fucking performance, man. What a performance. I didn't care for her character. I think she's cool now, man.
I think one last thing I'll say about this before we move on is I think every single character, good and bad, all deserve the credit, man. Because every character's bringing something. You know what I mean? Whether it's good or bad, they're all bringing something. I don't know, man. I just think it's a fucking masterpiece.
It is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. See as well, that scene, wow, what did you expect? And then all the guys turn on him. That's definitely in the next episode. And that, that broken down world with all those people and all their different crazy gear, because all different people from different timelines, Mongolians, warriors, this and that, and they've been brought out as variants, and then they've been pruned and put to this place. It's gonna be insane. I can't wait to see it. It's just gonna be a melting pot of so many different types of warriors and people, and maybe even MCU characters. Because think, they're all variants. You heard them say, oh, we never mentioned that. We've brought in Kree, Titans, and vampires. Mobius quoting Morbius. Mobius referring to Morbius.
Yeah, you said it right. It's just a bit of a tongue twister.
It is a tongue twister, it is. But I was like, Titans, so Thanos' race. Kree, obviously Captain Marvel. What's his name? All those people that are in Captain Marvel. They're all the Kree, the Skrulls, like rivals or whatever, enemies, and then vampires, and Mobius isn't out yet, but it's confirmed there's vampires in the MCU and on Earth. It has to be on Earth, unless it's like one of the other 9 realms, but I don't know. Vampires.
As long as it's not Twilight vampires, you know what I mean? Because I can't sit for that again.
Well, I don't know what it's gonna be, but seeing the '90s animated TV show, Mobius didn't suck their blood with his teeth. He had little like eel circles on his hand, like fucking octopus cups, and he would like suck people's blood or absorb their energy through that way because it's a kid's cartoon. You can't show on Fox Kids like a vampire like sucking Spider-Man's blood, you know what I mean? But who knows what the movie does look like. It's got some real dark tones, and I just don't know, man. I don't know where anything's going. The whole Sony Spider-Verse with Venom 2, Mobius, we saw the Vulture. We saw the Vulture in the trailer for Morbius. Is it Morbius? I'm so confused now with Mobius. Morbius is.
I guess right. Morbius.
It just doesn't sound right to me now, Morbius.
Hold on. Let me have a look here, right? I'm typing that. It's just coming up. Mobius. Morbius is not. Oh wait. He's not part of the MCU as it's produced by Sony, yet many fans speculate that this could hint. Yeah, but you're right, it is Morbius, a Sinister Six movie bringing together all the villains from the MCU.
Well, that's what I was thinking, because we see in the Morbius trailer, we see Vulture, Michael Keaton's Vulture from obviously Spider-Man Homecoming. We see him in that trailer, so that's got me intrigued as well. Is the multiverse of madness and this whole TV thing with Loki, is that going to merge so many universes together, bringing in the Fantastic Four, bringing in, like, whatever, like the Sonyverse characters, all into the one sacred timeline?
It's going to do what you would have thought that was happened in Endgame, where all these different MCU characters come together, you know, because when Endgame was coming out, I had it in my head that we were going to see the X-Men. You know what I mean? Like, I was thinking
I thought it was way too soon when they finally bought Fox. It was just Endgame and all, it was far into production already. They could have tacked on like a wee post-credit scene, but that would have just been shit. Do you know what I mean? It would have been rushed. I'm glad they never done that. I think...
100%, but we could do it now.
100%. I'm thinking Loki with the TVA, and we obviously have Wanda and her crazy supernatural powers. We've got the multiverse of madness. Is this leading to a cosmic event? A massive cosmic event, which will be the end of this phase, which will be like the big Avengers movie, but who knows what it will be. And in that movie, the repercussions and the effects it has will be what brings either the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, just all these different universes. Maybe the Sony's universe is going to merge, and then we're going to get Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland all in the same movie with a multiverse of Spider-Man. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's many possibilities, but the way this show's going and the whole Time Variant Authority and how they're bullshitting, we don't know what it actually is yet. 2 episodes left. I'm excited. Is this going to be what leads with Multiverse of Madness and Wanda and this? Is this what's going to lead to this cosmic event and bring the X-Men into the universe, the Fantastic Four?
It very well could, because I think this whole phase, so what are we on now? We're phase 4?
Mm-hmm.
Was it phase? Is it phase 4 we're in?
Right. Avengers 1, Age of Ultron, Infinity War and Endgame were in the same phase.
Yeah, so phase 4, right? So I think that, this whole phase is going to be based on time versus reality. So, like you just said there, we had WandaVision, right? Now we've got Loki. Obviously, I'm not including Falcon Winter Soldier because that was kind of a different. That took a different path.
That's not connected with this whole like multiverse and time and all this.
We're going to go to the multiverse. Apparently, No Way Home's going to include, past Spider-Man villains. Doc Ock, Green Goblin. Sorry.
No, it's Doc Ock. Doc Ock for Spider-Man 2. And I don't know about Willem Dafoe yet, but I know that Doc Ock for Spider-Man 2 he's been confirmed.
Yeah, but maybe it is setting up so that it come the big Avengers rebuild, we'll call it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Come that, are we going to see so many different MCU characters and different, universes of the MCU come together? for one big moment. I'm on that.
They want the live action, like, see that the big Marvel poster with every single Marvel character on it. They want that live action. Nah, they couldn't do that because that would be all villains and heroes mixed together side by side. But I suppose they kind of done that in Endgame anyway. Do you know what I mean? I'm still pissed that the X-Men are going to come to the MCU, and I will never see a movie that has both Steve Rogers, Captain America, and Logan, Wolverine, working together. What the fuck is that shit? That is unreal. They worked back in like the 60s. They worked back in the day together. Like, Logan's obviously well over 100 years old. He worked with Captain America when he still had bone claws, but God, man. Imagine
all the cartoons, you know, the animations, say, years ago, you know what I mean, from when, before you and I were born, they were all, you know, they all merged then, you know what I mean? Like, there was a cartoon when there's Iron Man's not there, but there was Captain America, Wolverine, who else is there? So there's Captain America, Wolverine, Black Widow, and Thor. And they were all, you know, fighting. I forgot his name. Thanos. They were all fighting Thanos. And I was looking at. So, you know, maybe they are going to bring this live action, but you'll never see, and I'll never see, and everyone who watches the MCU will never see a Logan and Captain America moment. It's not going to happen.
I know it won't.
Right.
Like Steve Rogers and that, they've done their time. They had a whole decade, and now it's. Do you know what I mean? It's the future is rising, but it's a lot of cosmic stuff. See if Loki is just a hint of what's to come, like, because I imagine on the big screen it's going to be much more expansive than what we're seeing on the small screen, which is absolutely blowing me away. It's absolutely stunning. It is movie quality. Shang-Chi, I can't wait. Multiverse of Madness, can't wait. Spider-Man 3, can't wait. But
Eternals, can't wait.
Eternals as well. Before I was like, I'm not so sure about this Eternals. I don't know anything about the characters previously, do you know what I mean? Which pretty much majority of MCU characters I just knew from growing up, from many different iterations, comics, TV shows, whatever else, movies. It's an exciting time to be a Marvel fan, that's for sure. And just Loki's blown it. Smashed out of the park, basically. Just smashed out of the park, and I can't wait to see what's to come. Honestly, you want to give your rating?
I'll give my rating. It's not hard, so it's not. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Tesseracts.
Not a bad choice, and we've obviously already spoke about the reasons why, so I'm just going to go right ahead and give my rating. It's also a 5. Fantastic episode. Some of the best acting I've seen in the MCU today. Owen Wilson, that B-15 characters, and both Lokis. They 4 performances, even Ravonna, like, I mean, she wasn't the strongest character on screen, like, your eyes are more focused on Sylvie or Loki anytime they were on screen with her. Anytime she was on screen with Mobius, Owen Wilson steals the show, do you know what I mean? So her performance is a bit weaker than everybody else's, but the whole standoff and the way she walked up, she's got that very Nazi-like, you get the vibes, very Nazi-like, that outfit, and then she pulls up, she kicks up the staff and catches it, and she's like, right, she means business, she's got skills, she's a warrior as well, do you know what I mean? Like I said, I like when she grabbed her bat, as soon as shit went down, she grabbed her baton and got to work, like, didn't just stay behind her desk, but you see her, she was ready for action, but then Sylvie beats her ass, and then she's like, do it, kill me, and she's like, now you're gonna tell me everything, but then does a wee 2-step, like, well, you're not, you just said you're not going to kill me. Are you going to kill me? I want you to kill me. Like, what you did, do you know what I mean? But phenomenal episode. Easily 5 Tesseracts. 5 Tesseracts. Do you have any last words before we cut this off?
Did you get Davies?
He's just going to give a quick summary. He's not watched the episode yet.
What?
I know. He wrote to me earlier. I've not actually watched it yet. How was it? I was like, it was awesome, mate. Get it watched.
Oh. He'll do a 5-minute recap next week.
That's what I said. Just give a quick recap summary. He can give his rating. Done and dusted.
But before he does that next week, I want to have a guess. Right, I think David's going to stick with 4.5.
Think so?
I don't think it was a 5 for David yet.
I was gonna say 4.5, but Caesar edit if it's just a 5. No,
cutting corners, are we? This is what
no.
read about.
Talking. No, I'm just kidding. It's pressing .5 is the extent of adding .5 when you type it. It's literally 2 keys. I'm kidding on, but the reason I was saying 5, just talking about the performances and just thinking over it again. 4.5 was my rating when I watched it last night, and I was absorbed in it. I thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
The action was obviously a bit less than the extent of last week's third act, which was just phenomenal. But the way they continued the story, the pacing, the flow, the storytelling, the performances, and the music. Once again, the music using that same theme, that same opening theme, but with different instruments, different paces. It's just so amazing, amazingly done, and I'm blown away by it. Absolutely blown away. I couldn't like it any more than I do, honestly. I'm just gutted there's only 2 episodes left. I feel like this should have been a 10 episode show or an 8. It's 6, isn't it?
It's 6, aye.
It should have been 8. But you know what? They focused the budget in these episodes. They had more budget for each episode.
What, 10?
True. It just feels like we're we're 2/3 in now. Do you know what I mean? 2/3 in, then it's ended. Then what? I'll be lost and lonely without my Loki. Anyway, on that note, we're gonna end the episode here. Thanks for watching. If you like this, you can hit that like and subscribe and follow us on Twitter and Instagram, the Nerd Dimension 89. Anyway, it's been nice talking to you, Mikey. Catch you next time.